Hey, you guys, welcome to Addictive Personalities. My name is Bethany, and this podcast is based on lived experience, not professional advice. We're going to talk about addiction in all forms, mental health, trauma, healing, and everything in between. This is a space for honest conversation without judgment. So, wherever you are in your journey, I'm really glad you're here.
Hey you guys, welcome back. I have been thinking, and I mean like really thinking, since my whole podcast is about thinking and regurgitating what I'm thinking. I needed to talk about something, and so I'm going to. But I'm going to start with an affirmation that we all should say, and that's, I will present my true self. That's what this episode is supposed to be. And here's what I've been thinking about. So I just have to come correct. And it's basically calling myself out because I didn't realize this. Like the whole time I've been saying I'm not like an addict anymore or whatever you want to call me, because I don't really know how to identify myself, but like you get what I'm saying. Some of you do, some of you don't, but we are what we are. What I need to acknowledge honestly with myself and with you is this. I am a fucking addict still in an active addiction. I'm just a post illicit drug addict trying to be normal now, which I realize, is probably never going to happen. Being normal, the being normal part. Like, I am weird. And I think we should all embrace that weirdness, embracing the tragedy and the comedy of our past, and some of the best comedies, the darkest. A lot of us who've been through this kind of life can say, like, without hesitation, that those darkest moments are the stuff we've laughed the hardest about together. But comedy aside, I need to be real. When I tell you that I'm literally using prescription medication to keep withdrawal symptoms caused by meth at bay, I'm still addicted. I'm in an active addiction. If we're on mental health meds every single day, and if missing a dose causes withdrawal symptoms, we are fucking addicts. It's just it's like a different type of addiction. And yes, it's totally designed that way. The difference, though, is that the behavioral risks are no longer part of the equation. And I think that that's what we need to talk about. There is a distinction between addictions. And can I even call myself clean? Yeah, I can. Right? But if we're looking at this from a philosophical or like literal standpoint, I'm just on legal prescribed drugs. Right? But when we talk about street drugs, taboo behaviors and lifestyles that come with extreme loss and danger and risk, that's where the real distinction is. So I'm free from that. Like when we come off of those drugs, we're at least freeing ourselves from that crazy risk. When I say addict, I'm talking about the life. I'm talking about that hard, visible, chaotic life where you're not operating on a normal level at all. Like you are literally in the depths of hell sometimes when you are going through real shit with real danger. So I can feel okay about Adderall, even though I wish I wasn't. And I can feel okay being on clonazepam, even though I wish I didn't need help sleeping. I only take it at night because I literally would not sleep otherwise. I wish my brain could function normally without those things. I'd love to find a way to heal the damaged neural pathways that cause the brain zaps I've talked about. But what has changed is that these prescriptions allow me to function without those external dangers, without the creepy pedophiles, without the violent criminals, without the possibility of being thrown in jail or prison, without the possibility of dying. Because let's be honest, I could have, like, literally, I don't know how I have not been murdered. I might have dodged murder like at least 12 times. And honestly, with my past, I should have also been in jail a lot more times than I have been. I've been to jail a few times. It wasn't a big deal. I don't know why people make a big deal about it. It's not a big deal. But, like, anyways, those are all risks I don't carry anymore. And so I'm not, yeah, did I have a moment where I felt like a hypocrite? 100%. But that's, for those of you who are listening that are on prescriptions too, that's the trade off. There's always a trade off. And yeah, it's still a substance, but we take it. And ideally, we take it under medical supervision. And ideally, we take it because we need it. And ideally, we're not abusing it. And most of us are just trying to manage the fallout from years of drug use, which will clearly create, some issues with coping because we haven't had to cope before. It's what the drugs did. Some of this could be managed with therapy and discipline, but and that's what I'm trying to do. Like I said before, I'm trying to wean myself off this medication, and I really am trying to discipline myself and really rewire my brain. But let's just be real, like, the society we live in today, it's been made to be easier and cheaper to just take the medication. So still, we're not clean. So again, I'm going to ask, am I really clean? Like, I don't know. Anyway. So the most important thing for me was that I had to be here. I had to function, and I had to be present for my daughter. And I can't honestly say I cared much about myself until I cared really deeply about her. And I'm grateful. And like, that was why, like, if I can minimize that risk so that I don't have to worry about her being taken away or me being taken away from her, that was the trade-off I was willing to make. And I'm grateful that I've come out of the decades of drug use pretty okay, all things considered, besides my brain. Like, even when I was high or, functioning and a little high, I could behave normally. Blending in really did matter to me. Like, I never really wanted to fully, like, embrace the lifestyle. Like, I wasn't trying to, like, level up and become a meth manufacturer. It wasn't like what I refer to as like a blow it. Like, and a blow it would be like someone who is like a walking cop stop and talk. Like, those, I tried my best to, like, out in public not be around people that were like just, cops would just like swarm to, just for being outside, because it was like that obvious. They were like noodle grooving, like tweak bopping, like just a total hot mess. Too risky for me. So I tried to distance myself, especially, as I got older, because again, I was trying to move away from that. And it became really clear to me that who you are and where your heart is dictates the kind of experience you'll have out there. Right. And things like meth that are stimulants, I think, stimulate either the worst parts of you or the best parts of you. But anyways, I say that with gratitude and not pride. That I was able to survive that. And, and sometimes it took me a couple days to realize who I was around. My instincts kept me alive because I've been in violent, vulnerable, and dangerous situations. And the fact that those experiences don't still arrest me emotionally right now feels like a huge blessing. I never thought that would be possible because for so long I lived in my past. And all I could remember was the trauma. And I know that many of you probably can't say that. I can't pretend I understand what it's like to be dropped into adulthood with severe mental health issues. Some people get, that schizophrenia, the paranoid schizophrenia, like some people don't come back from that. No support. Your kids are in the system, a long felony record, a past that haunts you. I can imagine, I can sympathize. Like I can imagine how difficult that would be. And if that is you and you're listening, that alone right there tells me that you're on the right path. So program or no program, I respect anyone who's re-entered society after that. The program didn't work for me. It's not my gig, but it works for a lot of people, and purpose does matter. But people lose everything and have to start over and like be dropped into scenarios that they're not familiar with all the time, and who have never been addicted. So we're not special in that way, right? But what makes us unique is how much of ourselves we suppress, that we, whether it was a short season, a long season, decades, your lifetime. For those of us on stimulants, yes, we chased intensity, conversation, adventure, risk, staying up for days. And when you don't sleep, you hallucinate. Add drugs on top of that, and there's literally another reality happening. People stay up for long, long periods of time. You're tripping, they're tripping. The longer you stay up, you're tripping on other shit. You're tripping on their trip, and nothing is real. And if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. Like making up conspiracies in your mind. Like it gets worse day by day. You don't sleep and you're fighting it. Man, it's crazy. And to come out of all that, to me, that's evidence of a higher power. Like, because a lot of people don't come out of that. And so I want to make it really clear, though, too, that when this is for people who've made the choice once or daily to surrender, to like humble themselves and acknowledge that they need healing, and but like recognize that like that is a huge step. Like just getting to the other side, like removing yourself from that like incessant cycle, because we just kept re-traumatizing ourselves over and over and giving ourselves more reasons to use. So that is that's a cyclone, right? That's really hard to get out of. So when you wake up and you grow out of that, like, hallelujah. Okay? That's a miracle. And this show is for people who are doing that right now. So now what? Everything after quitting is its own adventure. It's a new adventure. And it's hard, especially in the beginning. And for me, it was only easier because I had a way to function. The hardest part was the brain zaps. When I quit, I knew that that was going to be the last time that I used like illicit drugs. Okay, let's be clear. It's hard. It is a daily thing. I fight myself all the time. But never once am I worried about being triggered to use drugs. Ever. Which I'm very happy about. And I don't say that to brag. I'm just saying that like that's what I want for everyone. And I hope that everyone who's listening either is at that point or is trying to get to that point. And that's where the healing comes in. That's when the desire disappears because you have self-respect. But I want to get back to this whole I'm still an addict thing. I'm still healing. Okay? And yes, we're all addicted if we're on pills. Okay? That's a hard truth. That is a reality. I don't think people talk about this enough. And our drug dealer is our fucking doctor. And I will also say I don't believe that a mental health disorder is lifelong. But you know what keeps us lifelong mental health disorder sufferers is being on medication, because that medication doesn't fix anything and we will be lifers, right? I think it also often creates other issues. Have you heard the pharmaceutical commercials? Okay. Like, I'll play one on one of these episodes. It's insane. And how am I supposed to heal my brain zaps if I keep masking them? Right? Like, is there a way to heal them? I don't know. Psh, I don't even think there's enough research on them. And you know what? People who've never used illicit drugs in their life get brain zaps because they miss their dose of Lexapro or Cymbalta. What does that tell you? There's clearly a correlation between, SSRIs and meth if the withdrawal symptom is the same. Red flag. But anyway, I still have to say that, like, the upside is that we're no longer putting ourselves in danger to get our drugs. We're just, we're druggies to our doctor. Our doctor's our plug. Our doctor's our drug dealer, right? That is the case. And there are meds that block alcohol cravings, drugs that stop drugs from working, methadone, Suboxone, new clinical trials for other drugs. But, like, I still have to ask what's on the other side of that. Because, like, we all know that it's dangerous to be on drugs or substances. We know that. We shouldn't be operating vehicles. We shouldn't be in relationships. We shouldn't be parents. There's all of these things. And we can go to jail. We can die, all sorts of things. We know that. So now they're trying to give you a quick fix to just, like, stop the bad behavior. But, like, why are you having the bad behavior in the first place? What's on the other side of that? It's just addiction swapping if we never face what we're avoiding. I don't take medication to be happy because my medication doesn't make me happy. I still battle myself every day. And I don't know how long healing takes, but I am working on it. And I have seen drastic improvements in the way that I manage my quote unquote mental health disorders. So yeah, I guess I'm still addicted. I should probably say I am no longer an illicit street drug using addict, because I can't in good conscience say I'm completely clean and tout like I'm, fucking amazing. So the real problem is us. If we truly loved ourselves, if we faced our trauma, grief, and pain, and if we built around ourselves a support system, and if we were able to be vulnerable in a safe space, we wouldn't need so many escapes. Life is hard. Okay? It's almost like, you get ADHD and you get anxiety and you get stress and you get depression. It's just like, hey, handing them out all day long. That you don't think that that's just what life is these days? And then Big Pharma comes in and is like, you get an Adderall and you get a clonazepam and you get a Zoloft and you get this and you get that and whatever. It's just what we're trying to do is, like, find ourselves now, become aware of the things that are external factors. On top of that, we're trying to grow up after years of not growing at all. We stopped growing emotionally when we started getting high, and many of us, like I said before, we re-traumatized ourselves. We got in that cyclone of just, like, masochism. What I will say is that the work now is simple. It's not easy, but it's really straightforward. It's really simple. You just have to stop running, face your demons. And if you have to be on medication, if you have to take something to help you do that, the benefit is no longer living that risky lifestyle.
If this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to keep coming back and listening. I'm going to keep sharing, learning, and figuring this out with you in real time. And wherever you are in your journey, you're not alone. There's more to come, and we're just getting into it. This is Addictive Personalities.